Yeah, I just thought I'd jump in right here and follow up exactly on what Kevin had been talking about regarding the work opportunity tax credit. As we take a look at this within CCH Answer Connect, I think it's really important to understand that as we built this tool to assist in doing tax research, we really want to focus on a couple of different areas. First of all, being able to take this current tax information and make it actionable. Kevin talked about the energy production costs and how that is going to have some impact. We're waiting for additional guidance, and we're really excited about how we're going to be able to present that information to you outside of just giving it to you as part of a standard research. I'm going into a code section under, section 48, for example, to find out what it means. But how do we push that content to you to allow you to take a look at it and then dive further into the understanding of what that's about? So what I'm going to do really quickly here is I'm actually going to run a keyword search for the work opportunity tax credit, if I can spell here. And we've got our suggested search. I'm going to scroll down and grab and run a search really quickly on that work opportunity credit. We have several different ways of presenting the information to you. We have newly curated topic pages where we can go into a deeper dive specifically on the tax credit, and we will get there in a moment. But what I really wanted to focus on was the actionable component of when this came out, when the extension was announced. And I'm going into my news section, and we actually have a feature now called our client impact event. And what we do here is any significant legislation comes out, if there's law changes that are going to impact a large number of people, we want to be able to present this content to you in a manner that allows you to see what the impact is, and then move it forward, whether it's to your clients or whether it's to you as a corporation. How do you best take advantage of that? So this is how the client impact information works. We're going to give you an overview, and as Kevin had mentioned, it talks about the targeted groups that begin working prior to a given date, and what some of the requirements and what some of the stipulations are. If there's forms you need to be aware of, we're going to give you that information as well. I'm going to scroll down here a little bit. We talk about the effective dates, obviously January 1st, 2021 for this one as it rolls through for the next 4 or 5 years. But what's important to see here also is we started to tie together all the different areas of the tax research process that you may need to follow as you go through to determine whether, first of all, you qualify for this, but secondly, how do you actually implement it? And as part of that, we have a link into our topic page. We'll get into that in a moment, where we just go deeper into the specific area to give you additional guidance, additional recommendations, and just things that you need to know. But we've also then taken the code section, as Kevin had mentioned, regarding this credit, code section 51, and we pull you all of that information together for you, as well as communication tools, client letters, anything else that's out there that you may need to use to implement this process. So for sake of time, I'm actually going to jump directly into the topic page related to this credit specifically. And again, you'll see a very similar layout where we're going to go into that deeper dive into what the work opportunity credit is all about and some of the information that you need to know. Scrolling down into this page a little bit further, are there specific areas that you need to look at? What are the credit qualified wages? What are the targeted groups? Are there certification requirements that you need to be aware of? We're going to pull that information all to you, for you, into this single location. We talked about the code section. We've also brought it here as well. Any tools that are out there that we may need you to be aware of, we're going to give that to you. So as we continue walking through the research process, I do ultimately need to get into the code section to have my basis of my opinion and where I'm going to go with this. What we've now done here is what we call a 360 view into this code section specifically, where we have our complete code section, the IRC. We then give you access to all regulations tied into this code section. Again, working from a left to right format in the research process. Then giving you the CCH explanations, our interpretation of what code section 51 is all about. If there's any cases, administrative guidance, annotations, rulings, all of that content is also then going to be presented to you here. Forms and instructions are also available. Again, we talked about some of the tools on the topic page, but we have those available for you here as well. And finally, if you do need to get into a federal state comparison, what is my home state or the state that the activity is taking place in? what are they doing in terms of the federal provision? Are they following it? Are they modifying it? Are they decoupling completely and they have their own rules? Again, just allowing you to tie the entire research process into a single research tool. So that's a quick overview of what we have for CCH Answer Connect and how we actually discuss all of that. But I also wanted to take a quick jump over to our accounting research manager. I know as Kevin started this off, he began with the SEC's information and guidance regarding this topic. And I think what's really important is we actually produced a closer look, ESG and the SEC disclosures. By simply opening this up, we have created and put together a document that gives you a great overview of what the SEC and the ESG have in common, what they're legislating, what they're looking at. It's a great document. I think one of the first sentences here is there's been more activity in the past 10 weeks than there has been in the past 10 years regarding ESG. And as this continues to develop in just the world we're living in, we know that there's going to be a lot of guidance by the SEC. Our accounting research manager is a tool that will allow you to keep current in terms of what the requirements are, what the suggestions might be, what the disclosures need to look like, and everything related to that piece as you get into the disclosure requirements by the SEC. So again, two great resources available to you as it relates to ESG, both on the accounting side as well as the tax side.